You know, as a watchman, the Bible tells me that I need to be able to declare when there's danger so that people do not fall into it. It's not something that we take lightly, and it's not something that we want to do, but it's important. Because if there's danger ahead, you don't want to fall into the danger. So God sends watchmen. He sends preachers. He sends teachers and evangelists and apostles and prophets into your life to be able to help you. Hi, I'm Craig Fritchley. I pastor the sanctuary in Syracuse, Indiana, and we're glad you've joined us for today's devotional. The Bible is clear that God rejects the proud. And so don't fall in the pit of being proud and self-reliant, but trust God. Hebrews chapter 3, verse number 7. It says, "Wherefore, as the Holy Ghost saith, today, if you will hear his voice, and harden not your hearts as in the day of provocation, in the day of temptation in the wilderness, when your fathers tempted me, proved me, and saw my works 40 years. He was reminding Israel and the Jews to go back and to remember their past. Remember what their fathers did in the wilderness. How that God provided for them every day, yet they refused to believe him. How that God miraculously took them out of Egypt with the 10 plagues, brought them across the Red Sea, something that had never been done before. And then when they got into the wilderness and it was a little hard, they complained, they murmured, and they griped. He said, don't be like that. Don't be self-centered. Don't be selfish. Don't be hard-headed, or don't be proud, because God rejects that type of attitude. When they got to the Jordan River and they should have crossed into the Promised Land, it was just a few months' journey, and yet they refused to believe God. And they had to wander in the wilderness for 40 years. And even though God gave them manna every day, God provided for every need. Every time they were out of water, God gave them water. They still were headstrong, and they were proud, and they had to die in the wilderness because they refused to believe God. Please remember, God rejects the proud. It's dangerous to have a hard heart. And that's what happened to the children of Israel. They had a hard heart. They'd been through a lot of slaves. They'd been through a lot of things in the wilderness, and they refused to believe God. Jesus is coming soon. He wants to take you with him to heaven. Get yourself ready. Don't have a hard heart. Don't be rejected because you were too proud to admit that you needed his help. God will help you if you'll let him. And so let God help you. Please share these with others and join us for tomorrow's daily devotional.